part of me is gonna regret filming this because a lot of boys are gonna watch this and think half of these things are so hot. I'm so excited for that. Hello! Someone I love so dearly had breast cancer, so I figured I'd wear this shirt for this video, for my first video of October. Since we're talking about breasts, we're gonna talk about all girl schools, the truth about them. And seeing that it is October and scary things happen in October, what's scarier than all girl schools? Am I right? This is based on my experience and what I definitely learned from it, or what I've heard other people have learned from it. So, just throwing that out there. And I'm gonna try to address a lot of things, like, do we actually come out hornier than other girls that go to regular schools? Are we all a bunch of whores? Are we lesbians? I'm gonna try to get to that. Now, the main thing that people are concerned about when it comes to all girls schools is the lack of boys. Let me tell you why this isn't even an issue. When you go to an all girls school and there's no boys around, you get to focus on your schoolwork. Low key, low key. You could gossip about them without them knowing at the time. They weren't a distraction. That's basically the main thing. You were not distracted by an attractive or unattractive guy. And they weren't, I guess, getting in your way. Because, you know, you go to school with a guy, and they like you, they might bother you if you don't like them. But even with the lack of boys, we still talked to a lot of boys. All girl schools means all boys schools, and all boys schools was basically a field day. It was a free, well, I wouldn't say a free-for-all. All girl schools knew of all boys schools and boys at those all boys schools. So even then, after school, you'd go and hang out at an all boys school or hang out at like a football game. Like, it's not like we were away from boys 24/7. That's dumb. There was still dances. Except you would go to the all boys school for the dances because all the boys would be there, and so all the girls would go. The boy schools would have prom and the girl schools would have prom. So you could basically go to 2 proms within the same, well, you know, people could go to 2 proms in general. But since you went to different schools, you could go to your girl's prom and then she'd go to your prom. You could go to like 5 proms if 5 different guys from 5 different schools asked you. Like, that's dope. Now, with a school full of girls, mirrors are sacred. Sacred. Based on our schedule or what was going on that day, you had to make sure you were in the bathroom at a good time to have the appropriate amount of mirror time to your liking. Because good luck, you would all be piling on top of each other trying to look at yourselves. Like, low key, you had to plan when to go to the bathroom to see yourself. With it being an all girls school, you may or may not, but it's highly likely you'll probably see a boob. I've seen a few boobs in my all girls school life. Sometimes it's by accident, sometimes it's on purpose. Seeing a boob is highly likely, and you just gotta roll with it, okay? If you see it, you fucking saw it, alright? Don't make it weird. Now, if you see boobs, you're definitely gonna see some ass too. Or like, and that's just because some girls don't like to wear shorts under their skirts, and that's fine. We'd stand up and, oops, we didn't care. You know? At an all-girl school, you become so comfortable that you're basically manly. What do you mean by manly? Sometimes we'd go to school and we wouldn't shave our legs because if we knew we weren't gonna see any boys, it was woolly mammoth down there. Cause girls, We didn't care if you shaved your legs or not. Like, girl, me neither. Look at my pits. It was nice. You didn't have to shave every day unless you were seeing like your boyfriend or going to the all boys school, or I don't know, it makes you happy so you shave your legs or whatever. You know, sometimes we'd forget like our deodorant. I was an athlete in high school, so this is partially from like an athlete perspective. But like if you ran out of deodorant, you could just use another girl's deodorant. We openly talked about our periods for sure, and it would be like outside at the lunch tables while you're eating lunch, in the hallway by the lockers, 2 feet away from like the dean's office, in class, in front of the teachers. It could be a male teacher, and we'd ask a girl from across the room like, "Hey, you got a tampon?" And we couldn't be judged because we were a whole school of girls. So, adjusting from an all-girl school to like regular co-ed, normal people school, some of us don't know that some people are not as comfortable hearing or talking about periods as we may be. But it's fine. It's very empowering to talk about that stuff and have other people feel either comfortable or uncomfortable about it, you know? The thing about all girl schools is that it teaches you to be a lifesaver. Like you're a lifesaver. Aww. There was always a girl, always someone at school that had A, B, or C. You needed a tampon? Oh, go to fucking Jasmine. She has that shit. If you needed tweezers, go to Christina. If you needed cookies, Tiffany had some. Literally lifesavers. We had everything at that school. If you knew who to ask, golden. You were covered. Periods. Boy crisis, for sure. If you needed a tissue, there was always a girl in class that had a tissue. If you started crying in class, guaranteed there was a tissue girl in there. You're having cramps? Midol, Tylenol, Advil. 3 different girls had those. Ask one of them for your preference. You become a master of mending things. So a lot of girls were not big fans of the skirt policy about how it had to be like 3 fingers above the knee or whatever. And me being one of those people. Because I got in trouble for that all the time. Dress codes are just never my thing. I get in trouble at work for dress code too. Sometimes the girls would go and like alter the length of their skirt through not only like rolling the skirt or anything, but they would staple the end of their skirt so that it could be shorter. I'm hoping you can visualize that. I don't have a skirt. This is not a school skirt. I gave all mine away. I kind of wish I kept one. They'd grab the bottom of the skirt and they'd fold it in like that so it could be shorter. And then they'd staple that shit. They'd staple it along so that it's not like they rolled up their skirt or anything. It would just look like the skirt was made like that. If like the dean or a teacher didn't agree with the girl's skirt length, they would ask them to unroll their skirts because, you know, most girls rolled their skirts if they wanted it to be shorter. And so this was a way to get around that rule because the skirt was stapled. But you know, like you see the little shiny streak of the staple, so some of the teachers caught on. You get really creative with school supplies. Like we mended zippers with staplers and paper clips, and we always had safety pins, or you know, like lifesavers. Safety pin girl, come on over. Bobby pins. We got creative when it came to wardrobe malfunctions or manipulation. And of course, with it being an all-girl school, there is definitely drama. That's unavoidable. That's at any school. But all-girl schools, you learn to be a savage at an all-girl school. Trust me. I feel that if I went to a normal school, like a public school, I think I wouldn't be as vocal as I am today. I was in an environment where it was encouraged to speak up, to speak your mind. Going to an all-girls school taught me to stand up for myself and really showed like how savage I can be. That's with a lot of girls. Not that any of them went like super big on comebacks or anything, but with the drama and everything happening, I know it's not the case for everyone, but you get a thick skin for sure. You learn to not care about what other people say about you because you can clap back real quick, or you know the truth, or you know what I mean? Basically, you come out a savage. Like, you're ready to fight any girl that tries to get by you. And then you eventually learn later on that, like, you need to, like, contain yourself, pick fights when they're necessary. That's why, with the Beth thing, I could have done so much. You have no idea. You will know eventually on this channel, but you have no idea. I'm a savage. But the other thing about drama and gossip is that we become huge chismosas. Huge. We become nosy AF and we know how to get the information. Okay, the thing about private schools, given like your area, is that it's like one big high school basically. You know the drama going on at your all-girls school, 2 other girls schools, and then the other one in LA, and the other one closest to the all-guys school, and then you know which all-guys school has the best guys. Like it's a giant community. So if there was drama between 2 schools, like it could be one girl from my school having drama with another girl at a different school, you'd know enough people to like find out what it is. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to know, or if it concerned you. Everyone wonders, so I'm just gonna say it briefly. Yes, experimentation with the same sex may or may not happen at an all-girls school. Moving on, do I feel like I missed out on a lot of stuff because I went to an all-girls school? You know what, maybe. We didn't have like big ass pep rallies that had like the football team and, you know, whatever fucking team, but we had like good spirit weeks with each other. I think the environment of an all-girls school, besides the bad, like the drama, just the cattiness, because girls will be girls, but the academic environment of it is amazing. I loved going to an all-girls school. I would never go back in time and take that away from me. I was taught to speak my mind. I was taught that women are smart and we are capable of anything. I learned valuable things at that school about myself. Before high school, I was definitely one that worried about what other people thought of me, and I was persuaded often if one thing was trendy, I would try to be like normal, like everyone else. Once I hit high school and I went to the all-girls school, I embraced who I was, and I didn't care about other people's opinions after a certain amount of time. And now I am happy with who I am in regards to like my authenticity. You know, if I don't like you, you'll know. If I feel a certain way about something that you may not agree with, I wouldn't care if you agreed with it. I'd still say what I thought about it. I'm really weird, and I embrace that. Like, I'm okay with it. That definitely stems from me going to an all-girls school. And because it was a private all-girls school, yes, we learned about religion, and no, not all of us are like Jesus lovers or anything. That wasn't it. Like, outside of school, some of those girls did some crazy shit. Like, we were not angels, for sure. Just because you go to an all-girls school does not make you an angel. It makes you the opposite, probably. There's a misconception that like all of us got out of school like super horny because we didn't have enough male interaction, but I don't believe that. If anything, we were more comfortable with our sexuality because of the comfortable environment we were in at school. So like we're more open to expressing what we want. So if we want sex, we'll fucking go after it, you know? I don't think the lack of boys makes you any hornier. Yeah, that's about it. I kind of want to talk about my transition from public school to private school. I'll probably do that in a different video because I started off in public school and then I transitioned into private school, and that was a hard thing to do. If you guys want to hear that, give a thumbs up. Comment below if you went to an all-girls school. Share this with anyone that went to an all-girls school. Say I'm wrong, say I'm right. Give your own experiences. I want to know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, kids. Free the boobies. Ow. Ow. Disclaimer. Don't fight me. Authoritative finger. I just been vibing.